run this mother. Girl, who run the world? Girls, who run the world? Girls,
Welcome to Conversation That Build. I'm your host, Bergeline. This podcast is a space for real conversation about leadership, purpose, and building legacy, both in business and real life. Today's episode is powerful and personal because I have with me a woman. She's leading across generation. She's a single mother, a leader, and also she's someone who building her own business around her son, her mother, and her father. This conversation is about responsibility, resilience, and legacy. Let's begin. I really appreciate you taking time to be here today.
Well, thank you for inviting me, personally. It's an honor.
You're welcome. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, what can I tell you about myself? My family, migrated here from Honduras when I was 2 years old. I was raised in Maryland, and we came over to South Florida like my senior year of high school. And now I'm here, with my family, building a business, like entrepreneur lifestyle, and living a life that I never imagined. If you would have told me that I was building a business with my family, I would have never believed you.
It's just a dream came true.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So that's amazing to work alongside your family. So I would like to have that one day too. Right? Okay. So can you briefly tell us a moment that made you realize you had to step into leadership?
A moment that made me realize that I had to step into leadership. I think it's the moment when sometimes life throws curveballs at you,
Yes.
and it was when, my kids were growing up and I had to make the decision that I was going to be a single mom and I was going to raise them. Like no one was coming to save me, and I had my children watching to see, what was I going to do, and a future that wasn't going to build itself, so I had to make a decision for myself.
That's a good decision. So
Yeah.
till now, no regret, right?
No regrets at all,
Yes. I really like that. What does leadership look like for you as a single mother?
Okay, so leadership for me as a single mom, like sometimes it's doing the hard things, like when you're tired, and what they say, having character, when no one's watching. And, sometimes it could be like leading my team, leading my family, having, conversations with, like the team, and then going home having conversations with my kids as well, like
So
a
you
little bit
get
of both.
into two worlds.
I have to step into the both worlds,
Yes. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. So you do it well, right?
I love it. I love, every day is a blessing.
Yes, it is. How do you stay strong when responsibility feels heavy?
Um, I believe that we're all humans, right? There is nobody lives a perfect life. There are no perfect days. But the days that I do feel like things might be heavy and stuff, I realize that, I'm not God. I'm not God to take control over my life, and I give it all to Him.
Yes.
And I pray, and I hand it over to Him and let Him
Control everything.
listen. Tomorrow's already written, right? All we
Yes.
have to do is live today. So that's what I do. I pray. I read the Bible. I meditate.
Worship.
Worship.
You can do nothing about something that you can control.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Just
no,
leave
no.
everything to God. Yeah. Just
Yes.
on your knees and
Yeah. Hey,
you know,
he's gonna do it better than
and
we
do
are.
everything. And everything is like temporary.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
It's past. So once when you go into something, go to your knee and pray,
Yeah.
worship with
Yeah.
the Bible. So
Yeah.
it's the one who's gonna carry everything.
Listen, God is good all the time.
All the
You know what I
time.
mean? And I always say, even He has me. Even when I'm losing, I'm winning.
I'm winning.
Yeah.
I really
That's my
like that
mindset.
phrase.
Yeah.
Yes. What does it mean to you build a business with or alongside your son?
For me, I'm such a family person. And I love my kids with all my heart. I have 3 kids, and I would give my life for any of them. I have the blessing that I'm working the business alongside my oldest son, Enrique. And in the beginning, a lot of people see us, and a lot of people see, like how we're loving the business, how we have so much fun with it. I mean, sometimes there's days where we
Yeah.
can't even look at each other, right?
Mhm.
We're walking, you see us walking into the office,
That
and
can
he's
happen.
walking this way, I'm walking that way, and you can see it, But at the end of the day, it's like we treat each other with love and respect.
Yes.
I think that's
Yeah.
very important, because at home we're like mother and son, and then when we come to the office, we're both business partners, so we have to respect each other that way.
I remember when I first met you, when I just joined here,
Yeah.
and I didn't know my hotline well. I mean, huh? So I knew you first, and I was like, you are such like a woman that I was look up to, because I can feel the energy. So I already see that you are a family person, and the way you carry everybody around you, and I was like, I really want to be in your team. I really want to be next to you, being here and on you. Our office was next to each other, and I was like, yes, she's amazing, and yeah, you were one of the women who inspired me in the
Aw,
office. So
I love
didn't
that.
tell you that,
Thank
but I
you.
really appreciate.
Thank you. Listen, that's what I love about the business, right? Like like we walk in here like strangers, and then when we start the
We
business,
just
and
end up
we become family.
family.
Like I feel so blessed and honored to be working with such powerful women, like in the office, like Naveen, Ann, Rana,
Yeah.
Ileana, Sabrina, like we have such a blessing here in the office,
Yes,
So,
I really like that. I mean, I really like successful women. I
Absolutely.
always watch some reels about women who is in the business, woman who is leading. Feel that energy. I know she's winning. I know she can be my friend, or like I said, she can be my mom. She can be, yes, because I know I kind of feel myself in this person, because where you wanna be, or like the woman you wanna be, like you find these people who
Like your
inspire
role
you
model.
to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. The fifth question is, how is leading alongside your parents look like?
Oh man, that to me is one of also like that's such a blessing for me because I adore my parents. My parents gave up so much for us, Um, as immigrants, they came over here. They gave so much. They came here at 22 years old,
Oh, you are young.
with two, like 2 daughters, and like suitcases. Nothing, didn't know the language, didn't know what tomorrow was going to bring, and they were so brave to come over here and give us a better life. And for me, it's like that's my why.
That's your
That's my why. I have to win. I have to win because they deserve to live the best life that I can give them. They've been nothing but the best examples that God could have given me, and I always thank God for them.
So every
I
time
always-
you look at in back and you say, yes, they do a lot of sacrifice to bring you here. So no
Yeah,
matter what, you're
they're
gonna
my
win.
biggest cheerleaders. They're my
Yes.
biggest cheerleaders, and I don't know what I would do without
Without
them.
them.
Even though my mom fought me so hard that she didn't want to do the
Yes.
business with me, she gave me every excuse in the book not to do it. And I was like, no, you're going to do it because we're going to do this together,
Yes.
And now she's killing it in the business too, and
Yeah.
I'm so proud of her and what she's doing as well. And I love being able to work the business as a family.
Oh yeah. And I can say that when you just imagine yourself at 22, came here, so in English, and
Yeah.
raise such a family, and you say, yeah,
Yeah.
my mom. So
Yeah, they
I gotta
were so
win.
brave.
I gotta win.
They were so brave, and I'm like, every time life throws curveball, I'm like, what am I? What am I? Like, what am I scared of? What am I? Like, not. What am I fearing? If they did it,
I can do it.
I can do it.
Because they work to give you
Yeah.
that life that you're living now, and oh yes,
I'm like,
At the end of the day,
winning runs in my blood,
yeah.
so I can't. I cannot
The blows, yeah. I usually say that about my dad, and I was like, yes, he do all the work to give me such like pretty good life. I can say I can. You go to school, you do some college, and you're like, no, I gotta do better. You deserve
Yeah.
better. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why you have your right
Yeah.
to keep going
Listen,
every
one
single day.
day, I know that one day, my promise to them is that one day I'm going to give them the world where they don't have to look at any price tags.
Anyway,
They don't have to worry about anything. Because spiritually, like emotionally, they're well grounded, and financially, God has always taken care of us.
yes.
But I know God's gonna give me that privilege to be able to give them that life one day.
Yeah, it's such a blessing. Yes. What mindset helps you lead with clarity and consistency?
I would say ownership. I take full responsibility for like my energy, my results. Um, my reaction is up to me. On how I take things in life, and I don't blame anyone for anything. You have to be accountable for yourself.
Take your part of responsibility.
Yeah.
Know that I did it because I didn't know, or I needed to learn better. So
Yeah.
I just don't point people
Listen, the
finger.
moment that you're real with yourself and you know your strengths and your weaknesses and your flaws, that's when you can raise up to the next level. If you're not true to yourself, you're never going to grow.
Yeah, be aware of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I really feel that because when I just came here, when you were young and you take not really think everything was easy, but it wasn't. I mean, you didn't face your real self,
Yeah.
and now where you have to build something serious, and you kind of like you started to discover who you are and what is your power.
Yeah.
So that's really such good thing because now you know where to go. You have more clarity, and you know the reason why you do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. What legacy are you building for your children and family?
I want to leave a legacy of like courage, faith, um, and options. I want them to, like know that I want my children to know that they came from a woman that, you know, didn't fold under pressure, that was strong and, had good character and integrity, and I want that to come upon generations, that come after.
Yeah. So even though they have kids and they have to look up after their grandmother and
Yeah.
such a lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, what message would you give to single mothers and women leaders who's watching or who like they wanna build a business and just what you gonna live for them?
I always talk when I talk to women. I always tell them, don't ever use being a woman or a single mom as a crutch. But always view yourself at how God made you. We don't have to define certain situations that happen to us in life to
Gender.
exactly. And a lot of the times, it's like God made, I would tell them, like your struggles are not signs of weakness. Where you have been in the past doesn't have to define who you are today and who you're going to be in the future.
Tomorrow,
And whether you're a man or a woman, I always say, look at yourself at how God made you
as a human being.
as a human being. Don't ever use anything.
Because I'm a
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah,
Because I'm-
like there's a lot. Don't ever fall into that victim mentality. Don't ever use that as a crutch. Be the warrior that God made you to be. and always step into leadership, and always say, why not me?
Yes.
Because I think that when you have trials in life, God gives them to you because He knows you're capable of overcoming them.
That's the but when I grow up and I started to say, yeah, it's because I can handle this. That's the reason why this happened to me. And I was like, if I couldn't do it, it's like God not gonna give you the situation if He knows that you can handle it.
Yeah,
He's
no.
always have a backup.
Listen, I always say, everyone has a cross to carry.
Mhm.
What matters is how you carry it.
Yes.
Everyone's gone through trials, everyone's gone through everything, but it's like, how are you going to face your challenges in front of the light? And who, you never know who's looking and who you can be an inspiration
Mhm.
to.
Yes.
So
That's why just keep going what you're doing, do it well and with integrity.
and always
just
look
keep
at what your
pushing.
blessings are. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
that's
Don't look up on like on the problems and like complaining and just I heard someone said if for example you have someone who treating you bad or a parents or like a family or a sister, so now when you become old or you have your own family, so now you know on or to not to do certain things because you learned it before, and now you have okay, my parents was like that or my family was like that, I don't want to duplicate that to my family, so I have to figure out like how to handle it like well and do make it better and like be an example to them.
I always think, like, as a kid, yeah, you could be like a victim. You know what I mean? Like, you
Mhm.
didn't pick and choose certain things,
Yes.
but like, once we turn into adults, we do have the choice to say, am I gonna continue using this as like a barrier on why I can't win in life, or am I gonna overcome it and I'm gonna be the best version of myself?
Yeah, there's some people who use the past trauma like
Yeah.
to threaten people and like, oh, I had this in the past and I remember when I took I took to a family member like I know we it's not that close. So and I was talking about something and he said, oh, in my past my dad I never had a dad, he did this, he did that. I said, your past doesn't define you. You don't have to be like that. If you don't have any dad in the past, so that's mean you don't wanna treat people's or people's daughters like you you don't wanna reproduce what your dad did in the past. So yeah.
Listen, for me, I wouldn't. I thank God for the good, the bad, and the ugly that's happened in my life. Because if it wasn't for every moment that I lived, I wouldn't be the Erica that I
Yes,
am today.
God let you go through that to shape you into someone you have to
And
become.
there's always someone that's had it worse than you.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
don't think about that
For me, I
sometimes.
feel like I've been blessed from day one. I've been
Yes.
blessed.
Imagine that you didn't go certain thing and you have like a blessing and now you messed up everything. Imagine.
Yeah.
So you're going through that to be shaping for the future, and now you never like it can't do you would be able to handle it. So
And if we
it's
don't
kind
go
of
through
blessing.
certain trials in our lives, we're not going to be able to help other people.
Other
along the
people,
way.
yeah, a pastor told say that in his church last I think 2 weeks ago. He said if you wasn't saved from a situation, or you will be able to save someone else.
Right.
And I was like, yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely.
because I used to say that to myself and I heard that from someone else. I was like, yeah, that's me growing up. That's what yes. Okay, so thank you for sharing your story and your strength with us. Yeah, today's conversation just remind us that leadership isn't only about titles, but it's responsibility, sacrifice, and purpose, legacy.
Showing up for yourself.
Yes, it is.
Well, thank you so much for having me personally. Okay.
Okay, no problem. I hope like any woman who lead in the family or the future. So I hope you'll listen to conversations that will you learn some things like relate to your situation and keep going, don't give up, and let's connect on top.
Yeah.
See you. Bye.